Hi everybody, I'm Rick Beato. In this episode of Everything Music, we're going to talk more about the families of the diminished scale. That means what other chords are found within the scale. We've done a couple videos on it yet, but I haven't really gone over the entire list in this way, and we're going to talk about all three diminished scales. Now, as you know, it's a symmetrical 8-note scale that alternates either whole step, half step, or half step, whole step, depending on its function. This F tonic diminished scale is also A flat tonic diminished, B tonic diminished, and D tonic diminished, as you can see here. If you skip up each of the notes of the F diminished seventh chord, you've got F, A flat, C flat, which is B, and E double flat, which is D. We're just going to call them their simple names here. Okay, C flat is really B. Okay, that makes it a lot easier to deal with. As you remember from our last diminished video, a diminished scale, an 8-note octatonic scale it's also called, is made up of two diminished seventh chords a whole step apart. Okay, this is, in this case, it would be F diminished seventh and G diminished seventh. And this is the whole step, half step scale. If you start on the second note, it becomes a half step, whole step. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so if you look at the diminished seventh chord, 1, flat 3, flat 5, double flat 7, that is the spelling of a diminished seventh chord. Now down here are the non-chord tones, or the scale tones that do not make up the chord. We have the G, which is the major ninth. We have B flat, which is the 11th, okay? We have D flat, which is the flat 13. And we have E natural, which is the major 7th. Built off each of these non-chord tones, or upper extensions as we call them, there are chords, okay? There are chord families that are built off them. Off the second scale degree of a tonic diminished scale, in this case, off the note G, we have 4 triads: G diminished, G major, G minor, G Lydian. G Lydian being G, C sharp, D. Okay, so 1 sharp 4 5. The seventh chords built off each of these triads are as follows: G minor 7 flat 5, or G half diminished, G7, G minor 7, and G Lydian flat 7. That would be G, C sharp, D, F. The chords I didn't write down at the bottom that are built off G, B flat, D flat, and F flat, or E, I have it written E, are diminished seventh chords: G diminished seventh, B flat diminished seventh, D flat diminished seventh, and F flat, which is really E diminished seventh. I didn't write those down because they're written in the top corner. Okay, built off the fourth scale degree, or the 11th as we're going to call it, we have B flat diminished, B flat major, B flat minor, B flat Lydian, and its seventh chords: B flat half diminished, B flat 7, B flat minor 7, B flat Lydian flat 7. Okay? Built off the flat 13, we have D flat diminished, D flat major, D flat minor, D flat Lydian, D flat half diminished, D flat 7, D flat minor 7, D flat Lydian. And then built off the major seventh of the scale is E diminished triad, E major triad, E minor triad, E Lydian triad, E half diminished, E7, E minor 7, and E Lydian flat 7. Down here in green, I have the seventh chords that are all found built off the chord tones. We have F diminished seventh, A flat diminished seventh, B diminished seventh, or C flat, however you want to say, and D diminished seventh, or that would be E double flat diminished seventh. It's just easier to call it what it is. It's easier to remember this. These are all a minor third apart: F to A flat to B to D. Okay? These notes are all a minor third apart: G, B flat, D flat, E natural. Okay? Or F flat if you want to call it that. And off the second scale degree of this diminished scale, F diminished scale, we have a G diminished seventh chord. We have a G diminished seventh chord: G, B flat, D flat, F flat, or E natural, we'll say. But to the ear, it's a G diminished seventh chord. Okay, so these are the families of these, okay? Now, Right here, built off G, B flat, D flat, E flat is the half whole, would be a half whole diminished scale. Built off F, A flat, B, D is the whole half. This is not minor. I just put a dash there. I'll take that right out just so it's not confusing. So you only really need to learn 3 diminished scales, and you know all of them. Then they repeat. Okay, so there's literally only 3 to learn. So F diminished, F whole half diminished, F sharp whole half diminished, or G flat, and G whole half diminished. Once we learn those 3 and their families, we know all of them. Let's hear what they sound like. Okay, so here is the F diminished scale. I'm going to play an F diminished chord in my left hand, and I'm going to play the scale. And this is the fingering we're going to use. We're going to use 2 sets of 4s. So F, G, A flat, B flat, and then thumb under on B, C sharp, D, E. Now I'm using the N harmonics. I'm not using the proper scale tones because it's easier for you to learn. Now listen to it against the chord. Right? Again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A good way to learn it is to take the first tetrachord and the second tetrachord. So a tetrachord would be a 4-note chord. You can hear what they sound like on it. Now, when I'm playing this chord here, I also have this G diminished 7th chord against it. That is the entire scale there. These are the 1, flat 3, flat 5, double flat 7, major 9, 11, flat 13, major 7. So if I play this chord, this would be an F diminished major 7, okay? This would be an F diminished 7 flat with a flat 13. That would be an F diminished 7 with the 11th. And this would be an F diminished 7th with a major 9. You can actually take some of these chord voicings and you can put them down the octave. And you can play like that. I can put the major 9 right in the chord like that. I can put the 11th in the chord like this. Okay, some of these sound familiar to you, I'm sure, right? I can put the flat 13 in the chord, and I can put the major 7th in the chord as well. I can do it like that. So those are the different upper extensions that you can play. Now, the next thing to do is to take the triad families that we talked about. The first one is built off the major 9, G. So we have G diminished, we have G major, we have G minor, and we have G Lydian. Okay? The next group are the 7th chords. We have, of 7th chords are G diminished 7th, which we already talked about, so I didn't include that in our list. Built off the 9th. G minor 7 flat 5. G dominant 7th, we have G minor 7, and we have G Lydian flat 7. Okay, now we can do the same thing off the next note in the scale that is a non-chord tone, which is the 11th or the 4th of the scale. We have the note B flat, and we're going to have the same pattern. We're going to have B flat diminished 7th. We're going to have B flat minor 7. We're going to have B flat 7. We're going to have B flat minor 7, and we're going to have B flat Lydian flat 7. Next, we move to the flat 13 of the scale. And off that, we're going to have a D flat diminished 7th, D flat half diminished, D flat dominant 7th, D flat minor 7, and D flat Lydian flat 7. And our last group is built off the E natural, which is the major 7th. So there we have the E diminished 7th, E half diminished 7th, E 7th, E minor 7th, and E Lydian. So these are all the chord families to F diminished, A flat tonic diminished, B tonic diminished, and D tonic diminished. All those 4 families work with all of them because they are symmetrical. F, A flat, B, D. And the upper extensions, once again, G, B flat, D flat, E. Now, once you understand the theory here, you can start, instead of voicing in your left hand a straight F diminished 7th chord, I may only voice a couple notes. Maybe I'll add this here, the major 7th, so I have the double flatted 7th and the major 7th there. And then maybe I put a G Lydian triad over it. Maybe I put a B flat major triad over it. Maybe I put a D flat minor triad over it. Maybe I put a G half diminished 7th chord over it. Okay, that is a really... Maybe I do this. Beautiful sound there. I can take any of the available notes down here. Maybe I take this and I put root, flat 3rd, flat 5th, major 7, major 9, 11, and I voice the chord like this. I got the double flatted 7th, and I have the root up there again. So this will lead you into a lot of different directions. You can also take a couple of the triadic units and put them together. So let's say I take G major here, and I take D flat major here. Okay, that would be a polychord out of that scale. I can play G Lydian there, and I could take D flat Lydian. Or let's say I take B flat major and G Lydian. B flat minor and G Lydian. B flat minor and G major. Okay? Or I can go up to D flat minor and G major. I can voice them like this. Put an F in the bass, and I put B flat and E together. That's E major. I got B flat major here, E major there. Or E minor. Or B flat minor and E major. So another exercise you can do is you take a diminished 7th arpeggio like this. So I'm starting on F, I'm using A flat diminished 7th. It's the next inversion up from the F diminished 7. Same notes though. And then I take the triads that are built a half step below each root. So I've got E major over F, I have D flat major over D, I've got B flat major over B, and I have G major over A flat. Now these are really great sounds. I'll move it down the octave. So there, B flat over B, and then G over A flat. Those are great diminished sounds, and they can be in obviously any inversion that you'd like. But knowing where these are just the major triads, and then do the minor triads. And you can do the same thing over those with the minor triads. So I'll do up here, I'll start with, instead of E major over F, I'll start with E minor over F. Different sound. D flat minor over D, B flat minor over B, and then G minor over A flat. Interesting sound. You can do the same thing with the 7th chords. So the other thing you do is take instead of taking the F diminished chord, take the G diminished chord, which is in the scale, and play these upper extensions over them. E major, D flat major, B flat major, G major. I'll put F in the bass though, so you get those that real diminished sound there. So those are some other possibilities that you can use with that. Now it's your job to learn the G flat and G diminished scales and their fingerings, as well as all the chord families in them. So next I'd like to play a piece that I composed for this that has many of these major triads, minor triads, diminished triads, Lydian triads, dominant seventh chords, half diminished seventh chords, diminished seventh chords, Lydian dominant seventh chords. I have them all in here and you can hear what they sound like. That's all for now. Please subscribe here to my Everything Music YouTube channel. And if you're interested in purchasing my Beato book, you can write me at rickbeato1@gmail.com. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.